All right, the entity is stalking by helicopter, and the people of the state are aiding in that ongoing monitoring and terrorism by stalking with impossible light. Mule Car Smokehouse is gang stalking, and they're doing so. It's 200 North Euclid Avenue. The entity on the bench over here, impossible light, that's not from their headlights. In the same way, when they're driving by, it's not sunlight ricocheting off of their car. They're engaging in the same exact pattern of conduct, targeting me with light, knowing a population knows exactly who I am while they're conspiring murder together, and gang stalking with the entity that's stalking in helicopter. Sounding helicopter activity, and the co-conspirator, the people of the state, are surrounding in the path, stalking with impossible light as well. They are stalking. The light conduct is relevant to stalking. The presence is relevant to stalking. The stalking by the government using a helicopter and presence by the people is relevant to stalking that is conducted with regard to an entity acting in concert with each other. And they're doing so while the entity is maintaining impossible light. Here's my shadow here, and here's my shadow here. The entity engaging with a stalking by helicopter and seeking to avoid being captured. So I'm watching content online. This is documentation of ongoing targeting by the city of Ontario. I'm still going to publish this. The entity is sounding helicopter activity, amplified aerial surveillance, in other words, and the entity is targeting me with impossible light over here on this bench. Okay, it's targeted and it's specific. It's an admission to knowing who you are while the entity keeps things like a fake sun over you. An admission while the entity does things like target you with light that's not sunlight and light that's not headlights. None of them are driving north and south having any light that's going to touch this. The entity coincides that with the sound of what is helicopter activity, threatening my life and safety and well-being. The people of the state are going to federal prison for domestic terrorism. They act so with an impunity, which with regard to what is a threat that they intentionally pose as an entity to my life, and it's going on their individual criminal records when they're in court crying before a judge that's not going to hear anything. And they're going to be deported. They're going to be prosecuted, and the entity's going to be prosecuting businesses like Mule Car Smokehouse, Saris Regis, the 280 North Limit Apartments, which is a City of Ontario apartment complex, the government that's gang stalking. And that's how the entity is engaging what is targeting, by the way. The entity, this is mental illness, so they're not thinking about those consequences, but this is exactly how you're going to prosecute domestic terrorism. This is P.O.C. It's currently 7:07 p.m. This is the City of Ontario stalking with the people.